Meanwhile, CBS News has confirmed the president-elect's pick for Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth was once forced to step down from a veterans nonprofit group. He is making rounds on Capitol Hill, trying to convince lawmakers to vote for his confirmation. So let's go straight to West Palm Beach, Florida. That's where we find CBS News Chief White House Correspondent Nancy Cordes. Nancy, good to see you. So where does the nomination stand? And talk us through the process.
Well, what Hegseth is doing right now is essentially a series of meet and greets with Republican senators, Vlad. These are the senators who he will need at the end of the day to support him after his confirmation hearings if he wants to get confirmed. And so yesterday he met with about a dozen Republican senators, and most of them coming out of those meetings said that they weren't really paying attention to these newly resurfaced allegations of financial impropriety at two veterans groups that he once led and was asked to leave, according to CBS News reporting. They said that it really didn't come up in their conversations with him either. There are, on the other hand, some Republican senators who want to learn more. Susan Collins of Maine, for example, said yesterday, this is why you do FBI background checks on big cabinet nominees. After all, Pete Hegseth is someone who has been tapped by President-elect Trump to lead one of the largest bureaucracies in the world, the U.S. military. Now, there is some question about whether the Trump team might try to bypass these traditional FBI background checks that are conducted for cabinet picks before they undergo their confirmation process. Some Republican senators say they don't mind if they go around that process. Others say this is a tradition that they'd like to see followed. So it really is kind of up in the air right now, Vlad. The Trump team itself is standing behind Hegseth, despite these allegations of financial improprieties and personal problems with his behavior at these organizations. They say it's all just gossip and innuendo, and they are blaming some disgruntled former employees of those organizations. They're sticking with him.
So Nancy, I'm just going to play the audience here for a second, specifically related to that background check that the FBI conducts on these potential nominees. Does that mean that should this individual be confirmed by the Senate, that without that background check, they would still have access to all that top secret information? I mean, the defense secretary literally has the power over life and death for the some 40,000 members of the Department of Defense. They are responsible for nuclear deployments. I'm just curious as to what kind of top secret briefings you can have if you haven't passed a background check conducted by the FBI, or is there something else that they do once you're confirmed?
Yeah, so there's no law that says that cabinet nominees need to be vetted by an FBI background check. It's just always something that has been considered best practices. And there are nominees in the past for both parties who have had something unfortunate come up, and they have either been asked to step away or have had a president or a president-elect say, you know what, we're going to go in another direction. In this case, the Trump team has been using outside organizations to do some of this vetting, and it's still possible that they might ask the FBI to do it. The reason the FBI has done it in the past is because who's better at conducting a background check than the Federal Bureau of Investigation? But for some of these more controversial nominees, Kash Patel, who's been chosen to lead the FBI, for example, or Tulsi Gabbard, who has been selected to be Director of National Intelligence, it is an open question whether the Trump team is going to get behind background checks of these nominees. And then the question is, if they don't get those background checks, are there some Republicans who on principle will simply say, I'm not going to vote yes because the normal traditional process hasn't been followed?
Really interesting. Somehow, Nancy, I feel over the next 4 years, we will be having discussions often where we say the normal process has not been followed. And that's what people voted for. All right, Nancy Cordes for us in West Palm Beach. Always great to talk to you, my friend. Thank you.